Hello, it's Steve with the Thinking Person's Guide to Life. I'm doing a little series here on the different kind of emotions. Basically, there are four: anxiety, depression, anger, and guilt. And what this series is about is that emotions are not good or bad. They just are. And actually, all emotions are functional in some way. Today I want to take on a kind of a tough emotion, and we all experience it from time to time. We call this one depression. When we think about depression as not being good or bad, but it's functional, and just because it's not bad doesn't mean that we like to experience it. Certainly we don't want to experience depression. But another way to look at this is depression functional in some way? And I would say that yes, there's something that we can actually learn from feelings of depression. So when we think about somebody who is depressed and we look at their behavior, how a depressed person behaves, oftentimes they stick to themselves. They kind of don't enjoy doing the usual activities that they might have previously enjoyed. They might kind of lay about, watch a lot of TV, get in bed under the covers. They might have difficulty sleeping, or they might sleep way too much. They might, engage in like a lot of snacking and not having a very healthy diet. Those are some of the kinds of behaviors that a depressed person is going to exhibit. And of course, there's going to be, there's possibly crying, thoughts of suicide, but we're not really talking about the thoughts that they might be having. We're talking about the behaviors they might exhibit. So, is there something that is functional about those kinds of behaviors? Well, another way that we can kind of look at that is that what that person's doing is they're kind of going into themselves, and they're doing some what we might refer to as self-soothing behaviors. They're kind of nurturing themselves, not necessarily in a healthy manner, but that's what they're kind of doing. Sleeping too much, staying in bed for too many hours, not getting out of bed. Certainly we wouldn't want those kinds of things to continue for a long period of time. But in the short run, what that person's really doing is they're self-soothing. They're nurturing themselves. They're comforting themselves in a way. So the thing that we can learn from depression is that all of us need to take care of ourselves from time to time. Sometimes we do need to shut the world out, and we need to go into ourselves and just take care of ourselves. And we don't want to do that for too long a period of time, but certainly a little bit here and there, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, with that, one of the strategies that we can employ when we're feeling depressed is we can ask ourselves, okay, how does a depressed person act? A depressed person stays to themselves, doesn't engage in the activities that they usually like to do. They maybe lay about the house and lounge on the couch and just watch a lot of TV. They might go to bed very early, or stay in bed longer in the morning than they should. They might overeat. Okay. So we can ask ourselves, okay, these are the behaviors that a depressed person feels. Now, what does a non-depressed person do? What kind of behaviors do they engage in? Well, they're going to exercise. They're going to maybe take care of their health, maybe watch what they eat. They're going to be socially engaged with their friends. They're going to engage in activities that they find pleasurable, hobbies and interests. And so one of the things that we can do to combat depression when we feel that is to say, you know what? I am going to force the behaviors of a non-depressed person. I am actually going to force myself to exercise. Like the Nike commercial used to say, just do it. I sometimes refer to this with my clients as the damn the torpedoes approach. Doesn't matter how you feel. What matters is changing your behavior. Because oftentimes when we change our behavior, our feelings will follow. That's a key concept. Change your behavior first, your emotions will then follow. So when we're feeling depressed, yeah, we can act depressed for a little while, but at some point what we want to do is we want to make some pretty clear behavioral changes, act like a non-depressed person, and eventually we will feel like a non-depressed person. So that's it for today. A little bit about depression. Remember, folks, our thoughts do cause our feelings. And you have a good day. We'll see you later on.